I blew that. Hey, my name is Vivian. I am ridiculously out of shape, and next year I'm going to ride the Leadville 100. So what's important to know about me is that I know next to nothing about bikes, and walking upstairs makes me tired. So this is going to be a really unique experience for me, not just training for a race per se, but also figuring out nutrition, exercise regimens, and bike gear. This is all foreign to me, so we'll see how it goes. Ultimately, I don't think I'm really concerned with not even necessarily finishing Leadville. I think for me it's just going to be, the biggest accomplishment is spending a year of my life training for this. I've never committed to any sort of physical activity for longer than a week, and I think that's why I wanted to make these videos, is to hold myself accountable, and if it can help anybody else that's in a similar situation, that's like me and doesn't exercise, and is trying to do something pretty awesome, then maybe somebody else can get something out of it. I don't know, but I think the most important thing, or I guess the most rewarding thing, is putting the work in and showing up. And if I stick to it, if I stick to the plan, and I keep tweaking along the way and keep trying to improve my training plan, then maybe it'll work out. Maybe I'll finish and come home with a belt buckle. But if not, then I think the process itself is pretty rad. So I was inspired to do this because Outside TV did a YouTube series called From the Ground Up, which basically took 3 novice riders and trained them literally from the ground up to ride the Leadville 100, which, if you don't know, is one of the most notorious mountain bike races in the country. And so watching that, I was really inspired by the stories and people who had normal jobs, everyday lives, and who just wanted to pursue a dream. And I thought, well, it's almost a year from now, why not try it myself? So what makes this kind of interesting for me is the fact that I have next to no knowledge of cycling, bikes in general, anything like that. My husband's been riding for, about 20 years, and during COVID last year, I decided to give it a whirl and hopped on his bike and thought it was pretty cool, but never rode for longer than 10 or 15 miles. So other than just a general lack of fitness and lack of skills on the bike, I think one of the biggest obstacles is going to be my work life. I have a full-time job. I work 50, 60-hour weeks. My husband, we both travel for work, so it's going to be tough to kind of keep the routine because I never know when I'm going to have to go. I just hop on a plane and fly to work. So figuring out how to keep building and keep improving while I'm in a hotel away from home for 3 or 4 days at a time is going to be kind of a challenge. But you figure it out. It's just like anything. If you've got a goal, I feel like you just devote the time and the resources and the energy to figuring out the way to make it work for you. So I think that probably will be the biggest hurdle. So earlier this year, I was complaining to my husband about not being able to ride bikes with him around town. And so he bought me this beautiful, very sporty Canyon road bike that is way too good for my lack of skills. It's a phenomenal bike. Turns out designed more for racing instead of endurance, which I didn't know at the time, but it makes for a fun and scary ride. So that's what I'm primarily using to train on. Yeah, it's a great bike, definitely too good for me. You know, my hope for this is that I can look back and see my progress, you know, on days when I'm feeling like I've plateaued, or, you know, I'm having doubts about how far I can make it throughout this whole process. You know, if I'm ever questioning whether or not I can actually ride Leadville, you know, I hope I can look back at this and see how far I've come, and you know, figure out a way to use that inspiration and keep moving forward. So yeah, quite literally going from 0 to 100. So. Well, at Baby Hill took a lot more out of me than I had hoped that it would. And that's okay. I know it's just day one. I'm just trying to lay the groundwork for this and not trying to ride it all in a day. So